Good day and welcome from Almaty, Kazakhstan, where the UN Tourism Regional Conference on Women's Empowerment in Tourism is taking place. My name is Serik Akishov, CEO of the Welcome Ecosystem, and today I have the honor of speaking with a global leader in tourism, Ms. Zorica Uroshevich, Executive Director of UN Tourism. Ms. Uroshevich, thank you for joining us today. Let me begin with the first question. How would you describe the mission of UN Tourism today in a world where tourism is changing faster than ever now?
Thank you first for having me. It's a real pleasure. It's a pleasure as well to be in Almaty and in Kazakhstan. I think this is breaking through for the region. And thank you to Kazakhstan to hosting such an important event, because it's going to be a start of maybe a new era of inclusion, of consideration for gender. To go to your question, we are the UN Specialized Agency for Tourism. Meaning our role is to promote sustainable, responsible, and ethical tourism. You know very well that we have been facing quite a period of standstill during the COVID. Actually, that period has, I can say, stimulated a lot of changes in the way that we operate and in the way that we stand today. Just let me explain a little bit more on that. When COVID hit, tourism stopped. And then it really showed all the countries in the world how much tourism was important for all the livelihoods, the jobs, and therefore, and not only tourism industry directly, as well other sectors that were feeding, like food processing and so on. And therefore, I think this brought a little bit more attention and importance, give more importance to the sector. Now, countries have recovered. Last year, we have made the numbers even. International tourist arrivals were even with 2019, 1.4 billion. And interesting enough is that receipts grew more than arrivals. Of course, we know inflation has an impact on that. That's one thing. Secondly, the context of our organization, we are members-driven organization, meaning we are intergovernmental agency. So our main members, the voting members, are countries. But of course, tourism does not exist without the private sector. So we act both on the policy arena, on policy sphere, but as well, of course, we support a better development of the private sector. Now, we as well know that currently we are facing polycrises that are man-made and non-man-made crises, I can say, or turmoil. And of course, tourism depends very much on that. Tourism flows are dependent on safety and security. They are as well bound to current inflation and economic situation. So the trend is upward, but it's important to build resilience. And I think resilience is really need to be embedded in any country, destination, government, and of course we support government and countries to build more resilient governance.
Okay, I thought it will be the last question, but I think it's time for this one. Sustainability often sounds like a beautiful concept, but it also requires financing, new business models, responsibility from private sector. How can we make sustainability profitable, not just ethical? How do you think?
Actually, you just said the right word. I have been plunged in sustainability when I spent 12 years in the Seychelles, which is a country that has really sustainability at heart, because the country is very conscious. It relies heavily on tourism. 20% of the GDP is related to tourism. And foreign exchange earning about 60% on related to tourism. Conservation is a very key word, but that's when it comes to policymakers. Sustainability can only happen if there is economic gains. We are trade sector. just for your information, in 2019, tourism was the third export earning category after fuel and chemicals. After COVID, we were 9, now we are 5th again, after fuel, chemicals, food, and automotive.
Yeah.
And therefore, every step we undertake needs to be as well a business case. And the approach to sustainability, I mean, big firms know it. They're investing heavily in sustainability, especially environmental sustainability, because operation costs related to energy, water, and goods are essential. Now, sustainability, as you said it rightfully, is not only about environment, it's about social impact and economic impact. But when you undertake measures and invest, and that's the right word, invest in technologies that are helping you to reduce costs in terms of operation, you are actually doing two good things. One, you're doing good to the planet, and you're doing good to your business.
Yeah.
So where we have more difficulty is for SMEs. SMEs are less prepared because most of the time, small and medium enterprises do not have the capacity to invest heavily. They do not have sufficient knowledge. So our role is really to sensitize and to make this happen. Now, sustainability, social sustainability is looking as well at the lens of employment. Decent work agenda and decent work policies are very important. And of course, inclusion and distribution of wealth. Again, economic distribution of wealth, when you look at the value chain and the supplies, is very important. So local sourcing, well, on the one hand, corresponds today in the trends of the aspiration of authenticity that the tourists have, and this is much even more after COVID, has a great business case. Because on the one hand, you have local producers that can be doing more, I can say, profitable activities by supplying tourism needs and tourism consumption. And on the other hand, you have as well new jobs that are created. So that's on the social. On the economic, of course, every action that I just mentioned, the two, have an impact on the economic benefits. So the expenditures that are related to tourism consumption are very key in having these supplies feed better from local sourcing in all kind, creative industry and so on as well. So sustainability for me is really a key element. I mean, it's been the drive in the work I do, but of course it triggers on many other aspects to be considered. And the catalytic role we have in speaking to other UN sister agencies such as United Nations Environment Programme, but as well UNCTAD, the United Nations Conference on Trade for Development, on trade policies, because, for example, trade policies are regulated by trade rules. And this belongs to another arena than the one we can control. And therefore, while we are speaking to the UN system and the multilateral system, catalyzing the capacity for change, we as well are bridging the gap in the dialogue at the country level between tourism ministers, investment ministers, trade ministers, environment minister, but as well social employment. So influence in policy change requires a whole of government approach, which we can stimulate because we can as well bring on board and facilitate the dialogue between the multilateral system, which can influence their own ministries.
You know, if we're talking about sustainability, yesterday we have a small talk about one of my favorite UN tourism programs, Best Villages. I think it's a great example.
You spot it on. Actually, it's not only your favorite. It's, we have 160 member states, member of the organization. And every 2 years we conduct a survey, which leads to the formulation of the program of work for the following 2 years. And now, 2 times in a row, so 4 years in a row, Best Tourism Villages is and rural development is the #1 activity rated by our member states.
Wow.
The relevance. Why? Because as well, we have developed economies and we have developing economies. And developed and developing economies both have rural development at heart, because economic diversification through retention and production in the rural area is very key.
Yeah.
Now, agriculture does not suffice, and tourism can be an extraordinary alternative to complement income generated already by agriculture.
Yeah.
So yes, it's very wanted. It's an initiative that was born after the G20 in Saudi Arabia. But it as well, I have to underline, it is the idea of the Secretary General, Zoran Pololikashvili, who in 2019 decided that the year 2020 is going to be the year of tourism and rural development as a thematic for the organization. He didn't know that COVID was going to hit. And actually during COVID, people really tried to enjoy themselves going on vacation. They could not travel far, so they could only go in
Local
close
areas,
by.
yeah.
And it has become a trend. It has really become a trend. So authenticity, peaceful environment, natural beauty, and real culture is really now becoming a trend.
Yeah, capitals and big cities are great, but the villages need more tourists.
Listen,
but it need to be, very
80% of human activity is in cities. However, we all want to escape. So
it's great that we are talking about this trend here in Kazakhstan because we have a lot of great eco villages near. So, and let me please continue with two questions. First, about role do you believe Kazakhstan and Central Asia region can play in the future of, I can say, not only regional, maybe global tourism, because you're second time here in our region.
yes.
Yeah, can you please?
I think this region has a huge untapped potential. Why? Because first, I can just tell you that drivers of travel are very much focused on safety and security. I think the stable governance of the region, of the countries in the region, are very key for that. Now, the region as well was not so open to travel, I can say, because visa constraints are an impediment to kind of spontaneously book a ticket and go, right?
Yeah.
So many countries, such as Kazakhstan as well, has unlocked their visa policies. And that has actually resulted in quite an impressive increase in tourism arrivals. So that's one. Then accessibility, meaning mostly air transport, because that is still the fastest way to travel and the easiest way to travel to reach a destination.
Yeah.
And of course, the consciousness of the government that tourism is an opportunity and is a sector, is a service sector that could bring livelihoods, jobs, and growth to the destination. So the ingredients are all there. I think that the upward trend in the growth in some of the countries in the region, in particular Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, we have seen quite magnificent growth. Others are following. I mean, that is very important. And for example, in the social media as well, I mean, I think there is a kind of an incredible appetite to discover new places though where people didn't travel, didn't think of going, and everybody wants to go in new places. So I think it's a very promising future.
Thank you so much. We can continue with very important thing. When you grow with tourism, you need to be prepared for this. And I think the next question about it, what advice would you give to women, to young women who dream of building a career in tourism or international tourism, or maybe later working at organizations like UN Tourism?
There are many ways.
It's topic of our conference.
Yes, absolutely. It's the topic of the event, and we have found. I mean, I have found great inspiration because each and every one that has shared his experience has gone through another journey. Personal journey. We saw the tour guide that wanted to discovering when her grandmother left. She discovered that she had a gold mine of information about the history of Kazakhstan and Almaty, and she created a business with her mother. That's just an example. There are many ways. I think education is very important. And I think this is valid in tourism, but this is valid in any other sector. I think women need to believe in themselves. And yes, we have many times multiple roles to fulfill,
Yeah.
in a family. But as well, there is a lot of emancipation. I think the trend in the modern world maybe is a little bit different, even though tradition is kept. I think that it is not easy to have an impactful career when you have as well to think about many other elements. But I think as well you need to be capable of pursuing your dream. And I think this is the most important. If you figure out that this is the path you want to undertake, you have to give yourself the chances. And I think there are many opportunities, being it in the private sector, being it in having your own enterprise, or being it in working in international organizations such as UN Tourism or others. I think I can say there is a world of opportunity, but you need to believe in it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. It's really great advice, and I think this advice really works. Let's say for our young women volunteers during this event. Thank you so much, ladies, for your job. And the last one, it little bit maybe personal. Are there, let's say, 3, 5, or one place which is giving you energy in the world? I mean, for you personally.
Okay, there are a few places.
Is it okay with
Yes,
asking
yes,
this
it is okay.
question?
Of course, of course. There are a few places because we are all multiple.
Yeah.
Okay, we are one with one person. We are another one with another. We're all the same, but we have different needs that you need to cater. Your emotional needs, your physical needs, your intellectual needs. So there is like different places which gives you an energy which is of a different kind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm currently based in Switzerland. It's a place where I find an extraordinary buzz intellectually. I love to be challenged, so I think intellectually challenged, and a lot of extraordinary things happening in terms of the world, the projection, the future. Now there is one place which I particularly like for energy. I don't know, strange enough, it's a city. It's New York.
Whoa.
I have been, there is a big trend.
Yeah.
Water is key in my life. So ocean, the sea is very important. So New York gives me energy. I mean, I wake up very early there, and I'm really like, full of energy and positive energy. I think this is an incredible. I always regretted that I didn't realize that before, because there is a time it's too late to make a change in your life, because I have never been afraid of doing it. Clearly, yes, that's another one. Seychelles, I stayed 12 years. I went for a personal retreat, and I made a life there. I found the place extraordinary, energetic in terms of like nature, but as well well-kept tradition about human values.
Oh.
So I had the chance to really. I left Paris, where I was living, to go there, like in an island of 2,000 people. You get just the raw, basic exchange with people. And then there is a place which I have discovered because we're based in Madrid, the headquarters of the organization. It's Palma de Mallorca. I love that place because it is a multicultural place. That has seen many different culture, Italian culture, Venetian culture, Arabic culture, but as well, Israeli. There is like many different culture, and the city, but the island as well, is for me, I can say a very easy escape.
No.
And when I need to recharge, I like to go there for a few days.
Thank you so much for great travel advices.
It's very personal, and I think we all tend to go to places where we like. I mean, we're all different, but I like to go to places where I feel already home, and these are the places where I can say I feel home. In one another sense, right?
During your job, you need to open new places. How do you feel there?
I mean, I have been traveling the world.
A lot.
I never counted the countries I went, the places I went. For example, Almaty
Oh, thank you.
is stunning because, you know, there is this combination of culture, architecture, which I like very much, but as well, so much trees and so much nature. It smells good.
Oh, thank you.
So it's really it's all about, you know, how you feel and what you need as a human being, and it's going to be different people. So sorry for the other places that I didn't mention, but
But I think the people from these places really know that you love them. Mr. Rocher, thank you so much for this inspiring conversation, for your leadership, for shaping the future of global tourism. It's an honor for us and for Kazakhstan to host you here in Almaty. We appreciate your vision, your support for women in tourism, and your belief that travel connects cultures, make the world more open. Thank you once again for your time. It was a privilege to speak with you.
I thank you very much
Thank you.
and hope to see you soon.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.